The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Today, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report via the YouTube channel. We're going to be speaking about the report that came through yesterday through the Wrestling Observer, claiming that WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling were in talks. This was coming from Nick Khan. Again, this came from the Wrestling Observer. Dave Meltzer. This is the same man that last week claimed that Moose has signed with TNA Impact. The next day, Moose debunked those claims. So who is to be believed? Is it true or not? But we're going to have more of that story and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Hit the music.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. And today we're going to be talking about Dave Meltzer's report that WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling were working or talking and working together. Now, the reason I'm coming on here because the last few days, there's been a lot of speculations of stuff or I call it clickbait, of things going on in New Japan. As of Tuesday or Wednesday, there was a report that Will Ospreay faked his neck injury so he could go to WWE. This came from a podcaster that put this as clickbait and put it on his YouTube channel and used a Keith Lee being released by WWE and then added that part of Will Ospreay leaving New Japan to go to WWE. Now, as it turned out, it's all a lie. This podcast is supposedly went and got the report from Voices of Wrestling. That Voices of Wrestling had put up a report claiming that New Japan and Will Ospreay were having issues and were having problems, and that Ospreay was supposed to drop the belt to Okada. Now, mind you that Ospreay got hurt May 3rd, okay? I think it was May 3rd, against Shingo Takagi in their match in Wrestling Dokkan-2, okay? Yes, Ospreay was scheduled to defend that belt against Okada and Wrestle Grand Slam on May 29th. But because of the Tokyo state of emergency with the pandemic, those shows were canceled. Now, granted that this was an opportunity for Will Ospreay to recover from his big match with Shingo Takagi, which Dave Meltzer gave it a 6, which I thought he'd been smoking or drinking something, because I don't think it was a 6. It was a good match. 40 minutes of hard-hitting match, but it was nowhere Omega Okada stage, It was a pretty good match. I'm a big New Japan fan, and I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's my number one promotion as of right now. I love those hard-hitting, but it was not a 6-star match. Dave Meltzer is known to be doing ridiculous matches, ridiculous ratings and matches. He did the same thing. He kind of dissed the Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker match and gave it only a 4.5. Well, we all know that was a 5-star match. Okay, so as this was Wednesday when this happened, when they were talking about Will Ospreay faking his neck injury and he gave up the belt because he was not happy with New Japan. New Japan stripped him off the belt. Here's the difference. This is how I knew this was a bullshit-ass story. Because Voices of Wrestling claimed that New Japan took the belt away from Will Ospreay, which means the report would have said that Will Ospreay got stripped of the IWGP belt when a couple of 2 weeks ago they claimed that he vacated the belt because of his neck injury. Voices of Wrestling went as far as to say that New Japan was upset at Will Ospreay because Ospreay wanted to go to the UK to get his neck fixed. Now, if New Japan was supposedly, upset at Will Ospreay and they stripped him off the belt like they claimed they did, what do you think that they want to give a rat's ass where he goes to recuperate? You know, and then to top it off, we have reports coming from this Voices of Wrestling claiming that Will Ospreay was not happy with New Japan. He's thinking about going to WWE. When the man, his contract is not up to 2024. The day before, he was at Fightful Select, and Fightful Select went and claimed that he was happy where he was at, and he has a long-term deal with New Japan. I I don't understand it. So where all this is coming from, I don't know. But I know for a fact that I knew it was a lie because this didn't make sense at all. First of all, the podcast who did this, he did it for clickbait. Voices of Wrestling. I never heard of this damn dirt sheet. And these claims. They even went as far as say that some of the wrestlers who are not Japanese are ready to walk out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. What? Because of the handling of the COVID? Are you kidding me? New Japan Pro Wrestling has been one of the best promotions in handling the COVID because every 2 matches they have, they disinfect the ring for 15 to 20 minutes, making sure that everybody is safe. It happened. This pandemic, nobody was safe from this. No promotion. It happened to AEW. It happened to Ring of Honor. It happened to NWA. It happened to WWE. It happened to everybody. People were going to get this pandemic regardless. So for Voices of Wrestling claiming that wrestlers in New Japan are not happy, and the best part was that Tama Tonga followed that up and claimed that it was all bullshit. And whoever is making these rumors and whoever gauging, which is a foreigner who is not Japanese, is being creating rumors, being a little bitch, that he told him F you. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is you cannot, and I repeat again, you cannot believe anything of some of these dirt sheets. So the report that came in yesterday was that New Japan and WWE were in talks of working together, letting some of the WWE talent go to New Japan and wrestle. Now, I find this fucking hilarious because wasn't it somewhere in December where AEW, New Japan, and Impact started working together and they did that Forbidden Door. The man was pissed off because now, everybody's pointing, WWE doesn't want to be part of the Forbidden Door. Now McMahon is like, oh, no, we're willing to work with anybody. We all know that the reason you're saying that now is because you don't want to make yourself look foolish in the world of wrestling. But you're not professional wrestling. Y'all been saying this for years, since 1985. You're not pro wrestling. You're sports entertainment. And the fact that your product has been garbage for the last 2 years, and now you want to be part of this Forbidden Door, and now you're talking about, we want to work. That first report came, I think, somewhere in April that WWE and MLW were talking of working something. Okay, Court Bauer made it clear he was not going to kiss no ring. He doesn't care who it was, WWE, but unless he said, I will not kiss no ring. If we work together, it's going to benefit both of us. How is it going to benefit? Is it going to benefit us in the long run? So Court Bauer was looking at it on the business side. Is it going to benefit both? But we know the WWE, they're not in the market of making things work. They're trying to if they could buy libraries or steal talent. They've been known for this for years, stealing talent from other promotions back in the days in the territories. Okay, they're doing it now. AEW does the dark and the elevation, and what the WWE does, they're checking out this. They're sending scouts to check out these wrestlers, and then they approach these wrestlers. Oh, you can come to WWE, this and this. But some of these wrestlers, young and they're trying to put their name on the spotlight, get caught in WWE in these long-term contracts, and they don't use them. They hoarding. Okay, they hoarding. And for the fact that they're saying that they were working with New Japan, and this Nick Khan dude. They make it look like Nick Khan is this guy who came in now and he's gonna change the landscape for the WWE. And then first he claimed that, oh, we're looking at Mexico and see if we could put our brand on a Mexican promotion, whatever. Why? You don't use Andrade, you don't use Hector Garza, you don't use Angel Garza at that, and you don't use Alberto Correa. You squash these guys. And now you're talking about you want to work with New Japan? You when the Good Brothers came to New Japan, you make them look like shit. The only one from New Japan that came from New Japan that been looking good, okay, it's been Finn Balor and AJ Styles. And Finn Balor had to go down to NXT to get his career back to where it was because WWE wasn't using him. Because if WWE did not create you, they're gonna make you look like shit. So the fact that they're saying that this Nick Khan, oh, he's behind the talks. What do you know about professional wrestling? Okay, what do you know about professional wrestling? Okay, you're doing so great that Tony Khan last night did a promo on WWE because at the end of the day, New Japan said no. Now WWE is trying to be part of this forbidden door. But we all know they're going to try to forbid other companies to, have their stars be one of their stars. Because WWE is not going to allow that. You know that. You think they're going to leave Roman Reigns, go to New Japan, and get being Okada? That's not going to happen. There'll be a conflict of interest because WWE, Okada can't be Roman Reigns. You crazy. It's not going to work. Okay, everybody's getting all excited about this whole thing with New Japan with WWE, and my thing is, do you think that New Japan is gonna go and how you call it and work with WWE when they trying to get their market in the United States to compete with WWE and AEW? Does that make any sense? I just want you to think about it. Does it make any sense? Okay, it doesn't make no sense if New Japan is trying to be the third strongest brand in the United States. They got New Japan Pro Wrestling strong, so they already got a champion, which is Tom Lawler. Okay, um, it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. And you think about it. If that's the case, why would AEW continue to work with New Japan when they're working with the enemy? The enemy is WWE. WWE has tried since October of 2019 to bring AEW by any cost because they don't want competition. The only reason you're hearing all this crap, and I think it's just all bullshit, okay, that I think Nick Khan is sending out feeders and sending bullshit out there saying that the WWE is trying to work with any of these companies is because they are now the outcasts. They're the outsiders. And everybody's looking at them like, you don't want to work with any of these federations? And when they did work with the smaller promotion, look what they did to Evolve. They took Evolve, they bought Evolve's library, all because Evolve's library has AEW wrestlers who at one time or another went to Evolve, so WWE has hostage of their videos. Pathetic, you are. They're pathetic. I mean, everybody's getting all excited about. And just, what they should be worried about is how good the product's going to be. And I'm hearing now that SummerSlam, they're going to bring in Cardi B. And you call yourself a professional wrestling company? Again, no, you don't. You call yourself a sports entertainment company. Why are you worried about? See, that's why I know when Triple H be lying his ass off. We're not worried about the other competitor. Stop fucking lying, because if you weren't worried, you would not be talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, oh, supposedly. And Dave Meltzer, he could come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, they said why Dave Meltzer didn't mention that in March and April? Why he's mentioning it now?" Dave Meltzer has become the clown of the third sheet, the guy who, when he opens his mouth, he don't bring facts. You don't believe me? What happened last week when he claimed that Moose had signed a new contract with Impact? He hasn't signed anything. Moose had to go on Twitter and straighten out the story, because Meltzer, oh, he signed with Impact, and it turns out it was a lie. So whatever Dave Meltzer says, talking about New Japan, whatever, I'm going with so Tama Tonga is right now trolling everybody. Bullet Club versus the Bloodline. That was all over Twitter. Bullet Club versus Bloodline. We know that's not going to happen, because WWE is going to one way, going to try to do a power play with New Japan. Okay? And you think New Japan don't remember what WWE tried to do with them back in 2019, in 2018? When Ring of Honor wanted to do their show at Madison Square Garden, WWE went and tried to bully Ring of Honor and whatnot, and they forgot Ring of Honor is working with New Japan, and their lawyers came in to confront WWE and the monopoly in the freaking garden, and they could put their tails between their legs and left. And left New Japan alone. They didn't want no part of New Japan. New Japan and Ring of Honor were able to do what I consider the WrestleMania for me, which was the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden on 2019. One of the best times I ever had in professional wrestling live matches. I was able to see New Japan star Okada, Jay White, Naito, the Bullet Club, all that on one night, because New Japan was able to do that. But if WWE got what they wanted, as far as getting in there, stopping Ring of Honor from having that G1 Supercar and New Japan, I want to be able to see none of that. Okay, let's be realistic, guys. Can't believe everything Meltzer says. It's just this whole week has been rumors after rumors, facts. And now you're probably saying, why are you going hard when it comes to New Japan? Because this is the same shit that happens when it comes to WWE, when it comes to Ring of Honor, when it comes to Impact, blah blah blah, and people just don't, people buy into this bullshit. Okay, wasn't it like in January they were talking about, oh, Jay White's coming to WWE, all because it was all part of a storyline, and the man is signed to 2025. Will Ospreay is signed to 2024. Let's get it together. Also, part of New Japan had just announced that Dominion is going to be on June 7th, and that IWGP World Title will have a champion after June 7th. And guys who are wrestling for that belt is Okada versus Shingo Takagi, and the winner of that becomes the IWGP World Champion. So that's something to look forward to. And other matches, I think, is going to be Desperado versus Yo for the IWGP Junior title. You're going to have Kota Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb, which that's been very interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Guys, again, if you like what you're hearing in this video, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Tell me what you think of this video. Am I going crazy, or I'm not making no sense? It doesn't make no sense, as why would Dave Meltzer report this now? He should have reported back in March or April. You waited 3 months to come with this nonsense, and this Nick Khan supposedly is now the guy who's going to open the forbidden door for everybody. I don't believe none of that shit. So, again, let me know what you think. Again, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell for new uploads. Again, you can listen to my YouTube channel every week. I put a video up, so share with friends and whatnot. I also got a Chokeslam Wrestling Report T-shirt right here, guys. It's $20. You guys go to TCWR, veryimpressive.com. Again, that's TCWR, veryimpressive.com. You could order the shirt. You could get the baseball cap. I have worn the baseball cap here in the past, so you could get that. Register to the website So you get not only this, the video, you also get to listen to the audio podcast when you uh, go down and scroll down and you hit the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo, and you'll take you directly to the audio archives, my podcast for every week that I do. I do it twice a week, my audio podcast. So you guys can listen to it and enjoy it. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I'm also at Power TV 4 has me on the streaming in the UK. The Wrestling with Joners.com, I'm part of the Joners podcast network. You can find me there. So I'm everywhere, guys. So again, the audio podcast, you can find it in Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, and any audio podcast that you like, or major audio podcast that you guys like to listen to. Again, guys, today, pretty much, this is my 2-year anniversary doing this. So really, it's tomorrow, my 2-year anniversary. I want to thank all my subscribers who has subscribed and made this channel happen. Share, guys. Share this video. Share it with everybody. Share it with friends. Share it with everybody. Let everybody know the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I come here and I give you facts, guys. It's all about facts. It's all about common sense. Can't believe every dirt sheet story you hear, because some of these dirt sheets and some of these podcasts do these stories just to get be clickbait. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear the real junk, you come here. You don't want to come here, that's fine. I mean, again, you can leave your comments and what you think about this video. I will appreciate it regardless if it's negative or positive. Again, share it with everybody else. Until then, guys, this is my 2nd-year anniversary YouTube podcast um, show. So again, once again, thanks everybody that have been there for the last 2 years and all my supporters from all around the world. Till then, guys, be safe. Stay 6 feet apart. We're almost there. Till then, be safe.